Waiting until you're older to have kids doesn't necessarily mean you'll have fewer kids, according to new data by Pew Research Center. In fact, more women are becoming mothers and having more children than they were a decade ago. With me today is Dr. Robyn DeLuca, a women's coach and women's studies professor, to talk about how working women can better negotiate a work-life balance. Welcome, Dr. DeLuca.
Thank you.
So what's driving the ability for more educated women to have more children?
Women who have PhDs, they are having more babies than they used to. I think one of the big reasons are changes in what we expect of men. That we expect men to participate in the raising of their children. If a guy says something like, "Oh, I don't change diapers," we think, what a jerk. So that's become part of normal culture, and I think educated women sense this and see it and think, okay, if I do this, I'm not going to be left holding the diaper bag on my own.
You say it's possible to have it all, but what are some practical steps that working women and men can do to create that work-life balance?
Well, I think first we need to address that phrase, having it all. I think the best goal is to get yourself in a situation where there's good support and good flexibility. The first step for women, I think, is to make sure they bring their A game. Be really good at what you do. Be a valued employee, because I think women who make a big contribution at work are more likely to have management be more accommodating for them. Also, something that I suggest to professional women and men, and it shakes them up a little bit, is to consider reducing their standards. At home and at work. At work, reducing your effort to 90%, because that is barely perceptible to anyone around you. That your boss, your colleagues, you're still putting out really high quality work. But to you, you feel the reduced stress and just easing up that little bit. And then the same thing at home. Don't be too upset if your house is a little dirty. Don't be too upset if your kids need a haircut for another week. These are not big life-changing problems.
Do you think it's harmful for women to try to attain having it all because it makes them feel like a failure?
Well, I think it is for several reasons. When psychologists look at the kind of coping women do with multiple roles, the women who do try to do everything, work at the highest level, make homemade cupcakes for their kids' birthday parties, they are the most burnt out, more likely to be depressed, more likely to have anxiety and health problems. So I think women should see that that is not a model they should try to follow. They are not going to be happy people if they do.
Right, so it's a fine line, it seems, because you say that women who do have multiple roles are physically and emotionally healthier, but then if you don't feel supported and you're on the brink of burnout, how do you get back to a place where you're thriving again?
Think about and be clear what you expect of yourself, but also help others have reasonable expectations of you. Let's say you've got that big project going on at work that's going to advance your career and make you more money and be great for your family, but it means you're not going to show up at all your son's baseball games. You need to talk to him about them, explain this is something I'm doing for me and for the family, and for the next just 4 months. I won't be able to be there as much. So bring your stakeholders of your time in on your goals.
So you're really redefining what it means to have it all and having that flexibility.
I think so. I think we have to be cognizant that times change, we change as people, our work situation changes, and God knows children change. I think in terms of how you balance your life, you need to reevaluate every few months because things can come up. Figure out what it is you expect of yourself and see if that's matching up with reality. You know, the idea of becoming a manager at work may really match up with your goals and what you think of for yourself, but the daily reality may not be exactly what you want. So you want to have a good picture of what's going to be right for you.